Great. Alright. And did you all lol today? Did you? Yes. Yet to? Okay. I'm sure I will make you all laugh. Or if not me, the session today might. Alright. So before I'll try to make you all lol today. So okay, I'll tell some jokes and we'll play this game. If you laugh, I will. Alright?
We'll decide.
Yeah, we'll decide. Alright.
We will decide.
You all decide?
Might will decide.
Okay. So, what do you call fighting samosas?
What do you call?
Fighting samosas. What do you all call
Pav bhaji.
No? No?
Fighting samosa.
Fighting samosas.
Samosas.
Sumosas. Sumo is also. Yes. Okay, you all didn't get that. Okay, fine. Next. Why did a Toastmaster take an escalator?
He wants to reach heights.
Yes,
Next level.
the next level, yes. You all didn't smile, okay. Next one. Why did no, I remember. Why did a Toastmaster carry a mirror with them?
To see the reflection of
To
the
reflect on their speeches.
Did you give him the answers?
I saw them discussing.
Okay, my humor might be dry, but if you all do not want to be like me, take notes during the session. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Next, before we start, let's follow these 3 basic rules. Please take out your mobile phones and keep them on silent. And you can increase the volume after the session ends so that your family members will not worry about you. Yes. Second is, and give me a thumbs up when you're done. Alright. Second is, please refrain from moving around during the meeting. And if you want to exit or enter, please do so when you hear an applause. Next is, let us all keep it family friendly and do not talk about sex, religion, and politics.
Otherwise, samosas.
Or you won't get samosas. Alright. Next, let me call someone. So before that, there are people who are way ahead of their time sometimes. And one of them is her. One day during COVID, she got face shields with her, which she never used after that, during the COVID. But years later, fast forward, when she was frying nuggets, because of the oil splashing all around her, she removed that from the cupboard and then started using that. So every time she fries oil, she fries her food, she uses that face shield to fry items. So she's way ahead of time. And that is the kind of energy she brings to every meeting. She brings something unique and innovative every single time. So let us call someone who's always way ahead of her time, someone who thinks 5-10 steps in the future. Let us put our hands, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome our president for today's evening, President Chaitra Chandapillai.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavana, for bringing in so much humor into the start of the meeting. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Welcome to meeting number 1487. I declare meeting number 1487 open. Now, before we move on, can I request our secretary to come and give us the minutes of the meeting number 1486.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
I like the Josh. I thank The awardees were such as follows. So last week we had an icebreaker marathon, and let me tell you, all the participants who are speakers completed the marathon successfully, and they gave the icebreaker. And the best speaker award went to the victorious Toastmaster Vineet Kumar. The best evaluator was a tiebreaker between the DTM Dr. Rajdeep Manwani and Dr. Rashi Palgota. Toastmaster Rashi Palgota. The best table topic speaker went to Tombu King. Tombu King Toastmaster Viresh. The best role taker went to the articulate Toastmaster Alok Simha, and the best auxiliary role taker went to the jubilant Toastmaster Janvi Gupta.
Okay. Members, are there any amendments to the minutes of meeting number 1486?
Not after Shreyas.
I declare the minutes of meeting number 1486 passed. So I like how everyone here is coming up with so much josh. And I also see that the josh has also spread to our guests. Can I ask our guests to quickly stand up? Thank you. Members, how do we welcome our guests? Thank you. Very good. So how many of us actually laughed out loud today? Only a few of us? Okay, it's a very rainy day, so I can understand. So this is what we tend to do every day, right? We don't really remember how often we laugh out loud. Sometimes when we are waiting in line or we're just waiting for something else and we need to kill time, we take out our phones and scroll. And those kind of jokes are a little forgettable, right? They don't stick to your mind. The next day you have no idea what you viewed and what you thought was so funny. But there is one thing that really makes our laughs memorable, and that is being part of some situation. See, the thing with all these jokes on social media is that we're not really participating in them, so we don't really remember them the next day. But when you're in the middle of something, if you're with your friends or with your family and something funny really happens, it sticks to your mind and you will be talking about it even years later. So there was this one time when I was with my friends and we had accidentally set off the fire alarm in her house. Now these alarms are super loud and they are blaring, right? And we're getting so nervous because all the neighbors are rushing out down the stairs. And we tried to turn off the fire alarm. No luck. There was no smoke in the house, so we assumed it was malfunctioning. But whatever we tried, the fire alarm just wouldn't turn off. Finally, in the middle of the panic and the ear-splitting noise, we got someone to drag the dining table under the fire alarm, and we got the tallest person in the group to turn off the fire alarm by ripping out the battery. We had to go and apologize profusely to the neighbors, and my friend got into trouble with the landlord for tampering with the fire alarm. But this was years back, more than a decade back. And even now, anytime we talk as a group, this is the first thing that comes to our mind. That utter panic when the alarm is going off, and the chaos, and how we finally defeated that fire alarm. So friends, if you really want to have that deep, laughter that stays with you for the rest of your life, what do you do?
Be part of it.
Be a part of
Be
it.
a part of it. Exactly. Now to take this meeting forward, we have someone who brings a very humorous stage presence. When you look at him, you find that he's a little quiet. But when you talk to him one-on-one, he's always laughing and cracking jokes. He has been a part of this club for a long, long time. And I remember how he has always consistently been ready to help, ready to assist whenever anyone asked for it. Our current team lead at Universal Electronics for embedded software. Friends, please put your hands together to welcome onto the stage our Toastmaster for the day, Toastmaster Chiranth.
Madam Toastmaster, did I hear right? You said I bring humor on the table. I thought generally I bring nervousness. That's why I keep quiet. Okay. So let me ask you all. Do you think even sometimes a simple smile can often get you in troubles? Yes. I think everyone agrees. Even it happened to me very often that I stopped counting. And I stopped counting at all. So fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, welcome to Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Where stands a person who's been accused of laughing at an inappropriate time. You may say it as a curse or perhaps as a blessing. I'm blessed sometimes with a jocular name. That's a difficult word. Jocular nature that I'm ready to smile and laugh even at an inappropriate time. This sometimes has got me into troubles and sometimes someone believing me for a thief. That's none other than my mother. Welcome to the, so that's where the comes like, did you all lol today? The theme. I would definitely say yes and every day, but I cannot guarantee the time and the place. Let me call you an instance where this has impacted my life, totally altered my life. My mother once saw that her scrumptious, delicious, savory food has been lost. She immediately asked about among his two kids who might be it. One person gently smiled. That's it. There is no interrogation, nothing. She just left, went to the conclusion. She took up her friend Latanier, or what we call rolling pen, that household wife use, and she threw at me multiple times. Okay. I'm sure one time it has hit me, causing my vision to blur and forcing me to wear spectacles. The irony is this not only affected my eyesight, but also it affected my vision to see my future. I don't know where I'm standing today because thanks to my mom. Similarly to me, one more person, not one more, some person wore spectacles. Can you guess who? Yeah, absolutely. Because you don't have spectacles, that's why you guessed it. Otherwise, I thought I would say Abhay Kotari. Yes, absolutely right. Ralph C. Spedley, he wore spectacles, but his vision was very clear. He wanted to help people with better speaking, better listening, and better thinking. That's when he founded the Toastmaster International back in 22nd October 1924. Over 100 years later, the Toastmasters has grown into a massive network of clubs, of 14,000 clubs in presence in 149 countries, impacting countless lives, including mine and yours. So for the guests, if you think, like, how does this vision translates to our meeting? How do we take it here and bring it live? So every Toastmasters meeting, typical Toastmasters meeting, have 3 segments. One for better speaking, prepared speech, where a speaker will prepare and deliver a speech with the help of a mentor. 2, what do we say? No, I'm still better speaking. I'm still like confused. Okay, better speaking part. So yeah, like grasp their knowledge and deliver it perfectly, like so other people can understand. Then we are coming to the better thinking part, where it is all about impromptu. You'll be given a topic and no time to prepare, but you have to do it. Then there is today there is a slight change that we are not going into the table topic session, but we are going to bring you an education session, and I'm sure most of you who are present here are eagerly waiting for it. And we have a third session which is called as an evaluation, and it helps better listening. So where an evaluator will give a constructive feedback so that the speaker can utilize it and go to the next level. To take this evaluation session, we have a general evaluator. I'll come to the general evaluator later when I'll introduce him when he is ready to take up that role at that section. But he is helped by 3 members called as a tag team. They are armed up here today. They are not with anything but with a pencil or a pen, and they are ready to help general evaluator with giving the insights of this meeting. So we have a timer who is fairly a new Toastmaster, but a veteran timekeeper. He started keeping time of a paper flight back in his kindergarten. So speakers, beware, don't go overboard. Let's welcome our timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Vineet.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guests. Good evening. As timer, it's my responsibility to record overall duration of the meeting and its individual parts. We have 2 speeches today. Each speech has 5 to 7 minute duration. At 5 minutes, I'll show green card. At 6 minutes, I'll show yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I'll show red card. For prepared speeches, we have grace period of 30 seconds. And for each of the speech, we have evaluation duration of 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll show green card. At 2.5 minutes, I'll show yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I'll show red card. Again, for evaluation speeches, we have grace period of 30 seconds. At the end, I'll share my report. Over to you, Toastmaster Chiranth.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vineet. Now we'll move to the R counter. He is someone who is from the land of Tamilish. Yeah, you have not heard? It's next to us. Tamil infused with English. If he is going to evaluate you based on that, the R's and D's of the filler words are excused. Let's welcome our R counter, Toastmaster Imtiaz.
Good evening, my dear Toastmasters and fellow guests.
Good evening.
I am your detective today. I would like to tell this in an analogy. Are you interested to listen the analogy or analogy? Are you? I am serving you a biryani to you, just imagine for a while, I am serving you a biryani and you all are eating, okay? And the biryani, just imagine you are eating tender mutton, tender chicken. For vegetarian, maybe freshly paneer, okay? Assume you are eating or you are enjoying the taste, it's really awesome, okay? Maybe Taj biryani or whichever biryani it is, maybe Hoskote biryani, Mani biryani or whatever biryani. I am from Hoskote, that's why I am telling you. Okay, in between, you have a this ilachi or long, you had it. Instead of biting mutton, chicken or paneer, you bite ilachi. What is the English name? Maybe guess, can you guess them? Cardamom and? Cardamom. Cloves. Okay. Then it completely spoils the taste of your biryani. The similar way, when a speaker is telling his or her story, when he uses yer, grr, then completely we lose the essence what the speaker has to tell us. It dilutes the story. So I would request the speaker will have a delicious biryani to serve us. Thank you. Over to team.
Speakers, let's not bite the cardamom. Let's stick to the mutton or chicken or even paneer. That's fine. Next up, we have a grammarian who thinks B negative is not just a blood group type, but it's a life motto of a pessimistic person. To help us shed light on the word of the day, let's welcome our grammarian for today's meeting, Toastmaster Palak.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
One small question. What do you mean by LOL?
I always heard lots of love.
Exactly. One word can have many meanings, right? Okay, can someone tell me what is the full form of ruffle?
Rolling on the floor laughing.
Yes, absolutely right.
Rolling on the floor laughing.
Yes. So these small abbreviations, can spoil your language. So even in a conversation, you say, "Oh, lol, what is that?" Right. So as a grammarian for today, I will be on the lookout for all such words. Good usages, not so good usages, better usages, and good sentences. And I have a small request from all of you. The moment you hear the word of the day, can I get a snap? Yes. Or can I get a thumbs up? Yes. So this is your task for today. Whenever you hear a speaker saying the word of the day, just have a snap or just show your thumbs up. So the word of the day for today is jocular, which means yes, which means humorous. So the speaker's jocular remark kept the audience laughing throughout the session. This can be one of the examples. This is one of the examples. So I will be on the lookout for everyone who's going to use the word of the day, and back to you.
Now let's head back to the first session, that is prepared session. Before I call on the first speaker, let me call on his evaluator who will be evaluating his speech. This evaluator is a clever trickster. He even tricked his professor to change the question in the exam paper. A hero in his own regards. Let's give a thunderous round of applause for Toastmaster Vishal Vasantha Kumar.
Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
The speaker is attempting Level 1, Project 4 from the Pathway Presentation Mastery, and the purpose statement of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as an evaluator during a club meeting. And for this particular project or section of the project, they'll be giving a speech and expecting feedback from you. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Vivek. No, Chiranth. Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. Our next speaker is someone who is a serious person, who asks his wife to be rational, even when he breaks utensils in his house. So let's welcome our speaker, Toastmaster Shreyas K, with the speech title, Action Can Be Rash, but Reaction Can Be Rational. Toastmaster Shreyas K, Action Can Be Rash, Reaction Can Be Rational.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and beloved guests.
Good evening.
Actions can be rash, but reactions can be rational. Agree? Yes. So life is unpredictable. In a moment, we are sailing along, and in a moment, we are thrown into a storm. Financial troubles, emotional setbacks, health scares. These are some of the challenges we face. But $1 million question is, in case you come across these situations, will you impulsively react or react thoughtfully? Let me walk you through some of my real life stories or experiences which I have come across. A decade ago, I had made a financial decision. When I look back to it, I get a mixed emotion of embarrassment and wisdom. I had borrowed an amount from one of my relatives and in exchange had given a blank check without even having a thought of it. It was a mere gesture of trust, but the trust was shattered a year later. He had written a huge amount on the check and had filed a check bounce case against me. No clue. I was in panic and shattered, don't know what to do. Instead of reacting with anger and fear at him, I turned towards my father and explained what had happened. We together approached that person and had a strong, difficult conversation and managed to settle the matter. So this experience gave me two lessons. One, if I had emotionally reacted to it, it would have caused a lot of problems. Another one, instead of reacting at home, I calmly explained the situation so that we could together handle the case and settle the matter. From my financial missteps, let me take you to another story of emotional turmoil which gave me a lesson of how to handle these situations. My friend Deepak, who is a schoolmate and an event planner, who had planned his entire wedding through every detail, he had put his money, thoughts, emotion into it and planned his entire wedding for himself. Hours before the ceremony, there was a heated argument between the two families, and the argument ended up in a fully blown fight, due to which the wedding had been called off. My friend Deepak was devastated. We as his friends were also furious and we wanted to confront the bride's family, but we stepped back and as a friends we took a collective decision of filing an police complaint against the bride family. After investigation, we discovered that the bride's family had a serious case of history of fraud cases against them, and we got to know that they were tagged to extorting money with fake marriages. So our rational decision saved Deepak from his lifetime regret. So from the serious story, let me move on to a lighter note. The same group of friends, we were returning from a trip. And there was a toll booth ahead which we had to cross. And very soon we realized that none of us had cash to go through the toll booth. So we were in confusion what to do. We pulled over and decided to dig through our bags. As we dig through our bags, we found rupees of 1 and 2 which amounted or collected to rupees 50. We felt that we really found gold in our bags. And we handed over that money to the toll booth operator. The toll booth operator gave us a puzzled look and let us through. So these are some of the stories or moments which I have come across, and the lessons which I have learned is, in the face of betrayal, in the moment of crisis, and in your daily hiccups, do not react immediately. Step back and respond thoughtfully. Let me leave you with the thought where I began from. Actions can be rash, but reactions can be rational. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shreyas. You have explained us how a reaction can change someone's life. So moving on to the next speaker. Before I introduce the next speaker, let me introduce his evaluator. She is a profession. Her profession is evaluation. Evaluating your finances. Trust me, if you go to her, you'll work for another 10 years. Let me call Toastmaster Shivangi Bhatt.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
The speaker is attempting Pathway Innovative Planning, Level 1. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance a speech. All the best to the speaker.
Our next speaker is someone who is a real estate consultant who offers financial freedom. So much that recently an elderly person passed with a happy face. While taking his, he also took some amount for his property, but leaving him only with the divine blessing, not with the property. So let's welcome our speaker for today, second speaker, Kenneth Sterlin, with the speech title Start Again.
Have you ever started something with excitement only to find yourself stuck halfway through?
Yes.
Yes. Good evening, Toastmasters and your guests. This is exactly what happened when I started with the speech. I started off very confident. I picked the title. I wrote the opening lines and then even went on to writing down a couple of strong points. I remember thinking to myself, wow, I really get the hang of this. But 3 days later, what happened was, the document sat there on my laptop untouched. It wasn't that I didn't care. I really wanted to finish it. But what had happened was, somewhere along the line, the clarity just vanished. I just couldn't do it. That's the sneaky side of procrastination. It doesn't always hit you at the start. Sometimes it waits. It waits silently and whispers into your ear.
let's take a small break and get back to this later. But somehow, that break turns into something much more deeper. We lose complete track of time. We often believe that procrastination is to do with not starting. But for most of us, it's the real challenge here is stalling midway. We start focused, we start excited, but then you hit the messy middle, where everything starts tumbling down, where the idea isn't as exciting anymore. Everything goes downhill. What happens next? Right when that happens, procrastination comes back with the same whisper into your ear. You can't do this. You're not ready yet. One more episode of your favorite TV show and you can get right back to it right away. But then you tell yourself, I'll do this tomorrow. Tomorrow, more often than not, becomes 3 tomorrows. Then, a week, maybe longer. But the worst part is the thought, the task sits there like a heavy suitcase that you forgot to unpack. The longer it sits there, the heavier it feels. It's not just an unfinished task anymore. What it is it's a weight that keeps growing on and on and on. You look past it, you try to avoid it, you feel guilty. You tell it that you'll come back to it again, you'll finish it off soon. But now, it's emotionally loaded. You want to get done with it, you have to bear the weight of not having done it. And trust me when I say this, I know this feeling all too well. It's happened to me with speeches, it's happened to me with projects, it's happened to me with goals. I start off motivated, I start off organized, I start off focused. But then, what happens is I hit the messy middle. I lose focus. The start was thrilling. The end feels far away. So I pause. But the good news here is, for anyone who is like me, there is a ray of hope at the end of the tunnel by just following 4 simple tasks. Number 1, I make a small promise to myself. I'll work on this for just 10 minutes. Usually that's enough to break the fog. Number 2, what I do is I break the task into smaller, manageable tasks. Rather than saying I'll finish the whole speech together, I say I'll work on just one part of the speech. Or I say I revisit the part that I've already written. Number 3, I stop chasing perfection. Perfection often hides behind procrastination. We often wait for the perfect moment or the perfect conditions, but often it's fear in disguise. Number 4, I reconnect with the why. I ask myself why I started this, often asking questions, often asking why I'm doing this can reignite motivation. So the next time that you start something and you lose steam midway, think about this. You're not lazy, you're just human. Procrastination isn't always about discipline. Sometimes it's to do with burnout, it's to do with fear, it's to do with anxiety. But what happens now when you deal with procrastination is you don't wait for perfect conditions. You don't wait for inspiration. Because every time you get back to the task, every time you pick it back up, you regain momentum. And momentum is powerful. So next time that you're dealing with procrastination, just take one small step. One idea, one sentence, one breath. Because the best way to finish is to start again.
So Toastmasters, what's next? Break? Snacks? There's no snacks. No, not today, because we have an exciting session that is coming on. Because you can wait for the other things later. So, just let me ask you a quick questions. How many of you know Kannada, English, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, and all the languages? Then we will be up for a surprise. Amongst us, we have someone who not only knows all this language, but he can sing in them too. A true multilingual speaker and a singer. So, he has over 2 decades of experience in IT industry, working with IBM, GE, and Oracle. He had all the things, the title, the teams, and a corporate success. But somewhere along the journey, he noticed that all the bright minds who can build rockets or even build a successful billion-dollar startup career froze when someone asked them, just tell about yourself. That's when he decided to stop managing timelines and move towards helping this individual find their voices. Today, he is not just only the distinguished Toastmaster, he is a keynote speaker, a professor, a researcher, and an award-winning author of the book, The Gita Way of Life. Today, he blends ancient wisdom of Bhagavad Gita with the modern tools to help those people find their real voice. So, get ready to laugh, reflect, and may even find your own voice. Put your hands together and join me in welcoming an ever-inspiring, multi-talented, multilingual singer with a speech title, Anatomy of Humorous Speech, Dr. DTM Aurobindo.
Timer, Vineet. Okay, I need to see your cards. Okay, you're right here. No problem. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'll give you 3 situations. I'm sure all of you have experienced it. I just need a show of hands. How many of you have picked up a child, your own or your neighbors or uncles or friends or whoever it is, flung the child in the air, and then catch the child and put it down? All of you? Wrong question. How many of you have not done that? Well, very few hands will go up. That's okay. What is the reaction of the child? Bubbling with laughter, peals and peals of laughter, and begging you to do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again, till someone shouts at you, please stop doing it, otherwise you escape the baby off. Yes? All of you have gone to Wonderla and places like that? 360 degrees roller coaster, up and down, your head's up, so on and so forth. At one point of time, you are wondering what if one screw or nut comes off. And finally, you come down and you're like, start laughing. And after you land safely, you are like, let's do it again. Yes? You feel that? Very good. I've been to watch a movie, second show, with my wife. Conjuring. Part 1. Scary. How many of you seen Part 1 Conjuring? Good. You remember that lady gets pushed down the basement and the power cuts off and she tries to light a candle and the ghost comes and says, yes? Yes. Man, that was the most scariest scene that I've seen on big screen for the last 20 years, if I may say, right? And I was like, shocked. And what I see, there are 2-3 adults sitting in the same row as mine. And the ghost comes and does, and they're like, what the hell? That's the most scariest scene I've seen on big screen, and they're laughing. My wife says, it's okay. It's their way of releasing tension. Releasing tension. Then I go back to my first scene of flinging the child up. Before the child starts with peals and peals of laughter, you watch the child look in horror at you while coming down, maybe wondering, will this responsible adult catch me or drop me? And then when you catch the child, just But that one moment of scare, yes? And the roller coaster, when you go down, one nut comes off, and you're also scared. And then you come down safely, yes, let's do it again. You go back and stand in line again, wonderful, right? And then happens in Conjuring, and you're like, your tension is released. So, similar to any human emotion, laughter also is nothing but a little bit of a chemical locha inside your head. Some chemicals move, some hormones move, some neurons touch each other, and what comes out is when you laugh, right? Well, I'm neither a psychologist nor a neuroscientist. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you how to generate humor and create the same effect of a child coming down and you going through the roller coaster and experiencing Conjuring at once. Are you with me?
Yes.
So ladies and gentlemen, the next education session is going to be divided into two parts. Part 1, I'm going to deliver a speech because my education session is titled Anatomy of a Humorous Speech, so we need a speech to cut open, analyze and see what the ingredients are. Then I will give you the takeaways that you can start mix and match yourself like an IRT shop and create your own conjuring. Are you with me?
Yes.
Very good. So ladies and gentlemen, my speech begins now. Google has permanently altered our lives, isn't it? Well, I belong to the pre-Google era where I finished my engineering, my MBA, learned how to drive a car even before Google was even born. Call me old-fashioned. If you were to sort my name and Google, Aurobindo shall always be on top of Google. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. One of the most important inventions of Google is the Google Maps, the GPS. It's amazing how precisely it gives you directions from point A to point B with such pinpoint accuracy that you just got to experience it to believe it. Please keep right on the Bangalore-Pune highway. Please make a left at the next intersection. It's amazing, right? In countries like US, Europe and Australia, you simply cannot do without Google Maps. Say if it's so popular and powerful, why hasn't it caught on in a big way in India? Consider this. It will be an insult to Google if the directions were to be like, please stop at the next big banyan tree and ask for directions. Precisely that's what happens in India, yes? Driving in itself is a wonderful experience in a vast country like India, where 100 kilometers to drive in any direction, everything changes, I mean literally. The landscape, the language, the cuisine, the dresses, the temperature, everything changes, 100 kilometers, yes? That being the case, then comes the fun part. Stopping and asking for directions. Having driven extensively in all the 5 states of South, a little bit in Maharashtra and Goa, I'm going to take you all on a journey with me of experiencing stopping and asking for directions in India. Are you with me?
Yes.
Like in my introduction, my car is fully loaded with songs in all languages, Kannada, Telugu, Hindi, English, Tamil, Punjabi, Malayali, Marathi, whatnot. So when you are on a journey with me of experiencing stopping and asking for directions in India, the song that's playing in the car will tell us which state of India we are driving in. Are we all ready?
Yes.
Let the journey begin. Huttidare kannada naadalli huttಬೇಕು ಮೆಟ್ಟಿದರೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಣ್ಣ ಮೆಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ಬದುಕಿದು ಜಟಕ ಬಂಡಿ ಇದು ವಿಧಿಯೋಡಿಸುವ ಬಂಡಿ. Where we driving now? Karnataka, one state, many words, the land of Dr. Rajkumar, Mysore Dasara, Silicon Valley, Namma Bengaluru, Rava Uttappa, Ragi Uttappa and Robin Uttappa. The last one is not an eater, it's a cricketer. Here in Bangalore or much part of Karnataka, English seems to be the default language of the land. So when you stop and ask for directions in Bangalore, this is how it goes. First, you go straight. Notice the first, it is not first. First you go straight, turn left. Hand-eye coordination. No. They will reorient themselves to the direction of the car and say, sir, first you go straight. Then take left. Go straight and ask somebody else.
Direction change, music change. A ante Amalapuram, A ante Ahapuram, E ante Ichapuram, Yelakotti Lavataru, Andhra. Where are we driving now? Andhra Pradesh, the Telugu land, the land of NTR, ANR, spicy curries, green chilies, unlimited Andhra meals. Coming very soon, unlimited Telangana meals. One of the greatest exports of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana to the world are its IT peoples. Whichever country you go, you will find them. Here, you don't even have to stop the car to ask for directions. You slow down the car, you roll the window, you put your head out, Pothando! Keep going straight. You ask the next person, Pothando! That means you are on the right path. Keep going straight. Direction change, music change. Manguile, Punguile, Sedi Bunnu Kelu, Wanamala Ida, Tedi Varum, Nali in the Nale. Where are we driving now? Enchanting Tamil Nadu, the land of A.R. Rahman, Ida Raja, Dr. Abdul Kalam. Beat to the gate, the beat to the gate. This conversation usually happens in Tamil. I tell it in English for you. What happens is when you stop and ask for directions, one person comes, another one invariably comes. One to tell, another one to watch. Boss, I want to go to Fairmont. Sir, Fairmont Kovila. Sir, first you go straight, sir. One bridge will come. At the bridge, as this conversation is happening, we are joined by two more people. One more teller, one more. Sir, yo, Fairmont Kovila. Why are you sending sir to that road, sir? That road is not good, sir. You go to this road. Hey, what do you know? They almost come to fisticuffs. You stop them, boss. I don't know. You tell me, it's at this side, whichever side you tell me to go, I'll go. Direction change, music change. Kunjilidanji kunjikyo, undiri muttoli tindikyo, manjani varna chundari bhave, tanganna takadimiyadum tanganilave. Where are we driving now? Namude Kerala God's own country. The land of Ganagandharva, Dasetta, Laletta, Mamukka, Chitrechi, and the omnipresent Malayali, aka the Mallu. A striking thing a non-Malayali notices about a Malayali. Saju, Biju, Riju, Jiju. And in my experience, regardless of whichever language you ask for directions in Kerala, the response always comes back in Malayalam. Chetta, Hotel Shalimar, Shalimarano. Malayalam Manorama, umbrella, fold the mundu. Nera poi kana Telunaratta right, Pinaratta straight. Don't worry, if you are not non-Malayali like me, and you didn't understand, I also didn't understand, but I understood Nera straight to right. I will ask the directions to Hotel Shalimar by the next Chaitra. Direction change, music change. Salgarani gavu yagani piru ya apla santa garat saparyat gar gar varyat angala bidu de anga zavatu zani maza zula pani tim tingala. We are driving now. Mesmerizing Maharashtra, the land of temples, beaches, Bollywood, Sachin Tendulkar, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and the ubiquitous Maratha Maharaj. Maratha hu main Maratha aata maji satakli. You go to Bombay and you ask the conductor, ये बस मुड़न जाता है, भांडू जाता है. ये बस मुड़न जाता है, भांडू जाता है. You don't know where is मुड़न. You don't know where is भांडू. You ask, that's the response you get. When you're driving deep down the hinterlands of Maharashtra, when you stop and ask for directions, the first thing they will do is to size you up. ही बघा पहिला सरळ म्हणजे सीधा जाने बराबर. उधर एक बड़ा सा हनुमान मंदिर पड़ता है बराबर. उधर नहीं जाने का, उसी पहले राइट लेने. पहले राइट लेने का तो मेरे को हनुमान मंदिर क्यों देख रहे. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, installing Google Maps in your car, 5,000 rupees. Driving with the help of Google Maps, excellent. But the joy, pleasure, and experience of stopping and asking for directions in India is priceless. There are some things that money can't buy. For everything else, there is Mata Google. My speech ends. Yes, you can clap now. This speech won me the humorous speaking champion, the first humorous speaking champion of the District 92 of Karnataka and Kerala in the year 2014. And ever since, I still get calls after 11 years that they want to listen to this speech once again, all over again, and I'm happy to deliver it. I've delivered it more than 100 times in the last 8 years. Nevertheless, let's find out what made this speech the speech. Yes? Interested?
Yes.
Very good. How many of you felt that you were actually sitting with me in the car, I'm driving, the song is playing, I'm stopping and asking for directions, and you are actually seeing all that happening in front of you, right in front of you? Yes? Very good. The first ingredient, visualization. When you make the people visualize what you want to say and say very quickly, you need to establish 3 things very quickly. Who, what, and where. Where are you? What are you doing? Or who are you with? You don't have to spend too much time building up the tension. I was doing this, I was doing that, he came, she came. Those are all waste. Just get into the visualization. The next ingredient is vocal variety. Please raise your hand if you have had at least one teacher who would look extremely masculine, but he had a voice like a lady like this. Hey, what are you doing, useless fellow? Anybody like that? Very good. One physics teacher, one drawing teacher, one chemistry teacher. I'm sure. How many of you had a lady teacher whose voice was very masculine like this? And she would scold you also. Yes? Now, imagine all these characters from your own life. Your boss, your team lead, wife sometimes. And bring them up into your conversations. Nobody would know. By the way, this speech that I just delivered has actually happened to me at various points of time in my life when I was driving. I just put them together, strung them together into a 7.5 minute speech, and I made it into a speech. Karnataka, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Maharashtra, it has actually happened. All these things have actually happened to me. I just put them together as a speech for you to deliver. So the first ingredient is visualization and vocal variety. V. Easy to remember? Now, in humor, unless you are a Russell Peters or a Jerry Seinfeld where you can stand and talk, people will laugh, you need to use a lot of exaggeration in terms of voice, body language, keep going, and so on and so forth. The next ingredient, ladies and gentlemen, is exaggeration and explanation. What is explanation? You have to explain, like I said, very quickly who, what, where. And when you explain, people will get it. Are you with me? I'll give you a simple example. You went to a wedding reception. What do you see? People. Yes? Nobody laughed. But let me twist it on its head. I went to the wedding reception and I saw a tired and hapless looking couple, tired of smiling and receiving gifts, hungry, they cannot eat. And we come and look and say, what is for food? We don't care whose wedding it is. 20 years later, we'll remember the wedding by the burnt gulab jamuns or yummy kaju and paneer items. Yes or no? So that's how people laughed. Exaggeration and explanation. Easy to remember? E. Now, in my experience, what happens is when you deliver a humorous speech, many times I've noticed, the people get into soliloquy. I came, I saw my team lead, my manager, and all those things. I, me, myself, I, me, myself. Beyond a point of time, it sounds extremely boring, unfunny. Rather than laughing at your jokes, they are laughing at you. And you feel they are laughing at your jokes. No, they are laughing at you. So please bring in as many characters as you can. And when you bring in the characters, obviously, there is going to be conversations. And when you bring in the conversations along with the characters, the third ingredient C, characters and conversation, you can bring in your teacher with a feminine voice and a female teacher with a masculine voice and so on and so forth, your exaggeration and your vocal variety. Are you with me? Characters and conversation. Now, stand-up comedy is different from a humorous speech. Stand-up comedy does not have to be logical, does not have to be methodical. It can be a series of one-liners. However, humorous speech is not. Humorous speech, like any other speech, needs to have an opening, a body, and a conclusion, and a takeaway. What did anybody take away? For the most part, humorous speeches may not have takeaway, at least it has to be followed as some structure. Yes? So the next ingredient is theme. When you take on a humorous speech, stay on a theme. Don't jump all over the place. I've seen 7.5 minutes, people make this mistake again and again. They say, I was a fresher, I joined Infosys as a trainee, and then suddenly they went on to on-site trip and I got married, I got 2 kids and my manager and my EMI and all those things. Hello? Don't go all over the place in 7 minutes, you are confusing the audience. In less than 30 seconds, audience will sleep off. And audience is extremely capable of sleeping with their eyes wide open. Yes? So please stay true to the theme. Theme is very, very important. That's the next ingredient, theme. And also along with the theme, timing. What do you do with timing? You pause before you deliver a punch. Like for example, I paused. I don't know how many of you noticed. A striking thing a non-Malayali noticed about a Malayali is I'm sure all of you have noticed it. Maybe you not have paid attention to it. Yes? You know what? I went to Kerala. Kochi. Room full of Malayalis. And I said this. And instead of laughing, they were like, we don't do that. Look, that is because you are Malayali. I'm a non-Malayali. And they were like, no. I said, you come out. I'll show you. Then they were like, I got an order. No, that is very common. Yeah, that is very common because that is for you. You are a Malayali, I am not. For me, I find it funny. All of you found it right? Saju, Biju, Riju, Jiju, So you pause. That is where you practice your timing. Especially when you are landing a punch, you are twisting it, a twisting line, and you tell something, and you tell something, and the third one, audience is going to guess something else, and you twist it. That is your timing. So ladies and gentlemen, V for visualization, vocal variety, E for exaggeration and explanation, C for characters and conversation, T for theme and timing. Are we getting somewhere? Engineers in the house? Engineers in the house, how many? Including me on stage. Very good. VECT. And the next one is O. What is O? Originality. Don't tell them a story. Tell them your story. A story, everybody knows. Why? Because everybody has this 6.5-inch gadget in their hands. They will read all the stories that you are planning to tell in Kannada, Telugu, Hindi, English, Tamil, and Malayalam also. Yes? So please make it original. When you customize your experience and paint it with your words, jocular or otherwise, people will get it. Originality is the next. And observation. The sugarcane juice fellow, the puncture fellow, the auto driver, the cab driver, how they talk on the phone, how they give you directions, or the ATM security guard, or BBMP worker. Look around you. We are surrounded by characters. They try to speak Hindi, they try to speak English, they try to speak Kannada, they try to speak Telugu, even though they are not natives of that brings in the flavor. And you capture that essence and try to put it across in your speech. It becomes original and it comes from your observation of life. So VECTO, observation and originality. And my last ingredient for today is rehearse, rehearse, and rehearse. If you have not rehearsed, you have no right to be here. Not for any speech, not for humorous speech, any speech. And more so humorous speech, you cannot. I get calls, even today. Tomorrow is my speech, here is my script, can you polish it like yours? I say, get lost. In 24 hours, I can't do it. You should rehearse it. And by the way, the Google speech that I gave you, you wake me up at 2 in the morning, I will stand and say, Google has permanently altered our lives. I have practiced it more than 250 times. Before I came to the district finals in 2014 November in Mysore. I had practiced it 250 times. You wake me up at 2 in the morning, put me on the stage, Google has permanently altered our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, I go in the exact same way. Are you with me? So unless you rehearse it, you cannot do justice to it. It's a crime to be here if you are not rehearsed it. So easy to remember formula VECTOR. Engineers will love it. Non-engineers also will understand, find it easy to Remember, vector, visualization, vocal variety, explanation, exaggeration, characters and conversation, theme and timing, originality and observation, and finally, last but not the least, rehearse, rehearse and rehearse. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I come to the end of my speech. We have 10 minutes of time. Any question and answers? I can take a couple of quick questions. Yes, please. Please. This is not a classroom. In my classroom also I tell them to sit down and ask. Please, go ahead.
Hi sir, I am Toastmaster Akthar, and I have two questions for you.
Please.
The first question is, you talked about exaggeration on your body language. So I have a question here. So I am a person who is not very good at body language. I mean, I can show, like I can do hand stuff, I can do this, that, but the way you showed exaggerating the story, probably I'm not very good at it, and if I try to do it, I may look very stupid on stage. So for people like me, how do you suggest that we bring out the experience to the audience without too much exaggeration so that we don't look stupid on stage?
Got it.
So this is my
Question number one. Question number two. I'm used to it.
I
So
think I forgot the second question.
that means you're slowly on the path to become a genius. Fantastic. Question number one, Toastmaster Akanksha. If you remember question number two, I'm okay to answer that also. Now, what language do you speak at home?
Kannada.
Kannada. Very good. You see, when I say exaggeration, need not necessarily be doing your Bhattanatyam gestures. No, not that. I'm sure you would watch, enjoy, laugh out loud, watching Doddanna, Bang Janardhan, Sadhu Kokila. Yes, no? Yes, no?
I don't know it.
Jaggesh. No? That is the OMG Kannadiga I come across. All of you got it?
Yes.
Now, exaggeration need not necessarily be with respect to your hands and body only. You can do with your eyes. Oh my God! That's okay. Raise the voice a little bit, lower it a little bit. That's also exaggeration. You're explaining something. And by the way, you said you look stupid, not the audience. Audience does not think so. So audience does not know. The only person who is judging yourself that you're looking stupid is you. It's okay. Acknowledge it. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. That is how you discover the funny bone in you. I know not everybody can be humorous. It doesn't matter. Right? I'm sure you watch Hindi films and so on and so forth. I'm sure you watch Kapil Sharma show. Yes, no? Imagine the dialogues you being delivered are at Kapil Sharma level and the whole Netflix along with 142 countries is watching you. Yes, no? Can you do that? Here, safe environment. Even if you don't say anything, stand there and work for 7 minutes. What a fantastic work. Toastmasters, no? Correct, no? Try. Find your nerve and then go out. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. I remember the second question.
Oh my God! I turned down your bhakti. Go ahead.
The second question is, usually when I try to prepare a humorous speech, and sometimes when we give out the punchline, when we say the punchline, no one laughs and it's just crickets, then I feel disappointed. I feel lost. I don't know what to say further because I would have been expecting people to laugh and probably hype me up. And if that doesn't happen, I forget my whole speech. So what do we do in these kind of
Very good. Who is expecting to laugh? Who wrote the line? Audience doesn't find it funny. Is it your problem or audience problem? Correct, no? Now, nothing wrong with that. Okay? Audience will laugh when they want to laugh. Audience will laugh at what they want to laugh. Audience will visualize what they want to visualize. You can't control that. Again, I've seen a lot of Toastmasters and stand-up comedians in Bangalore circle. You guys suck. A horrible audience. I told such a nice line. Nobody's laughing. You become the joke rather than telling a joke. Right? It doesn't matter. You watch. Okay? That is called landing. Landing the punch. Right? Okay, you landed. Nobody laughed. It's okay. Move on. Right? Remember, sari, showroom, salesman. Same color में दूसरा design, same design में दूसरा color. One after the other. Finally, you buy, don't buy, doesn't matter. He will say, देखने का पैसा लगता ले लो.
Correct? No? And what do you say? Same color का दूसरा design, same design में? That's all there is to it. Got it?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, please.
This is Toastmaster Mavi. I have a question regarding choosing the topic. How do we choose the topic and how do we be original after we choose the topic?
Very good. That's why I said, if you paid attention, tell your story. Don't tell a story. Whatever you pick, be generic. Take all the audience along. Toastmasters, no sex, religion, politics. Obviously, you cannot hit below the belt. Ruled out. Double meaning, ruled out. Clean, pure fun. Whatever you say sticks. Number one. Number two. In one contest, I remember, there was a guy who tried to make a humorous speech. He was competing with me, and he had a T-shirt, with the logo written, women are weak, men are strong. He was talking something about men versus women, right? Men versus women is an extremely risky business in comedy. 1 centimeter this side, 1 centimeter this side, 50% of the audience will hate you for the rest of your life. Okay? And he opened his jacket and he said, men are strong, women are weak. And of course he tried to make his point as to why in a very funny way. But 50% of the voting judges said, Vishal, correct, no? So whatever theme that you choose, like I'm talking about theme, right? Whatever theme that you choose, make it generic, make it clean, make it pure, make it fun. So this speech, when I wrote it, my son was 7 years old, and I delivered it to him. He was 7 years old. I don't know how much of English he could catch at 7 years of age. Now he's 18, he's in college now. But he was literally rolling on the floor and he was like, once more, once more. Then I knew I cracked it. If a 7-year-old can roll on the floor, adults were literally falling off the chair when I delivered this speech at Mysore, right? 400 people in the audience. So make it clean, make it pure, and make it, take everybody along. Don't alienate half the side. You're siding with women and you're praising women, you're alienating men. You're saying men are strong, women are weak. Maybe how much ever strong, you're alienating 50% of the audience, right? Nari Shakti Zindabad. And 50% of the voting judges also will be ladies. So don't alienate anybody. That's why I suggest Toastmasters, along with Akanksha also, come and practice here. See what lands, what lands. You don't have to be funny for the last whole 7.5 minutes. Doesn't work like that. It takes a lot of time, okay? I've gone to comedy shows, I tried stand-up comedy, I've sucked big time. I've had organizers throwing on my face, we won't pay you because half the audience left, you sucked. I had to go in a shell and my wife had to pull me out and say, okay, try again in 2015, 2016 onwards. Again, I started trying, right? So you don't get success. Now, what do you do? In your speeches, insert two, three small bits, one-liners, expressions, experiment with your body, see what sticks, what sticks and also what is natural to you. Don't try to force fit what is not naturally your style, right? So don't try to force fit and see and then slowly pull out your funny side. Does that answer your question, Mami?
Yeah, but what I see is usually when a person is doing comedy is
okay.
Where it either offends other person or you're making fun of yourself. Like
that is called self-deprecating humor.
Yeah. So there are two ways in which people make you laugh or whatever. So what for me is that I struggle a lot even with choosing themes. So would you suggest any particular themes on which we can?
I'll tell you what. You can talk about. See, if it's your self-deprecating humor, if you are not comfortable making fun of yourself, you can create an imaginary fictitious character in your college. Who knows? Who cares? I don't know you. Oh, okay, fine. You maybe had a friend like that. I'll believe. And put everything on that person. You can go with it. Yes? Maybe you had a bad breakup. Maybe the girl spurned your advances. Oh, you can say, my friend, he was a loser. Not me. I'm a nice guy. Can I do that? Number 2. Number 3. Self-deprecating humor comes with a lot of experience. For example, I'm quite comfortable on stage in front of the audience saying I'm fat, I'm old, I'm bald. And you know what? I don't care. I am who I am. So when I go to teach MBA students also, the first thing that I say in the first session, I am 27 years old. I say that. People are with 27 years of experience. Now who is laughing? Nobody is laughing. Are you with me? I'm 27 years old. I point here. Not this. This is aged. This is 54. But this is 27. You get the point now? Now when I say I'm fat, I'm old, I'm bald, I told my son, I tell this, my son looked at me and said, oh, you tell this to your students? Then they can't make fun of you. Either they will make fun that you are fat or old or you are bald. I tell it myself, yeah, so what? Okay? So be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the same thing I told Akthar. Yes, please.
I wonder what translates from our experiences or our head into the stage is funny. And it was always baffled me as to what is like in the last meeting, one of the Toastmasters mentioned the word chambu and it just caught on, everyone laughed. And then there are members like me who try to bring in punchlines, jokes, doesn't land, or it's funny in my head, but it's not funny on the stage with the audience. So I wondered what makes something funny.
See, what makes funny, what makes it land is the way you deliver it. For example, you know what I do when I write something funny? I record it, I audio record it. And I listen to it in the car while going to office and back. And I listen to it so many times that at each point of time, I have to laugh at that line myself. If that's not funny to me, I have no business toping it on your head and expecting you to laugh. Obviously you won't. Are you with me? So somebody asked this Google speech, sir, send me the script. I said, boss, there's nothing in the script. No, send me, I want to see. It's a half-page notepad. If you print it out, it comes 1 page. But sir, how did you win this? I said, it's the way it's delivered. Right? If it's not funny for you, you can't expect audience to laugh at it. Maybe audience will laugh at you, not at it. So take it out of your head that this is not landing and so on and so forth. What we try to do is we try to analyze too much. And fun, it robs the fun. Right? Analysis leads to paralysis. So it robs the fun of the fun element. So just land it. Doesn't stick? No problem. दूसरा साड़ी देखो. Doesn't stick? No problem. तीसरा साड़ी देखो. देखने का पैसा नहीं लगता. And keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. And that's why when people reach out to me, even as late as yesterday, sir, next week is a contest. Can you polish? Get lost. You don't have time to practice 200 times, so don't blame me. That it was mentored by Aurobindo. Right? Last question, sir. Okay. Amrit, we are doing okay? On time?
Yeah. Most, if not any speech, has the capacity to be converted to a humorous speech, depending on how you put the ingredients into it.
Absolutely.
Including a sexist people, male and female, but depends how you dress it up. Right?
Yes, absolutely. See, for example, I can convert Madam's Sergeant at Arms. I'm sorry, I didn't know your name. Chaitra. Chaitra's was a 7-minute humorous speech. Fire alarm. Drag the table, put the people on, the person on the table trying to switch it off is overweight. I don't care if he's overweight or not. You put a fat guy on the stage and try to switch off, the battery falls on the head, the bulb burns off, and then you later take a candle out, and then a cat meows. I have no ingredients. Was anybody witness to what she's saying? She can make up anything she wants with that one line. Is it not possible? Cannot deliver a humorous speech there? There's your humorous speech. Try it. What happened? Why you met, all of you? And what happened to the fire engine alarm? And somebody calling the cops? Maybe bring the cops out. Make the police shout, hey, enter Mehta the way. Come out there. And you're like, oh my god, fire alarm. That's a 7.5 minute speech. Who knows it can be an award also? I don't answer your question, sir. Thank you very much. That's all the time I had for you.
Session, we just witnessed what a passionate Toastmaster can not only make us laugh out loud, but educate us and take us through his journey. I could vividly see like Chaitra lifting his mundu to give him instructions. Okay, all are charged up? Yes. Let's move on to the next session. Yeah, we'll go to the break. Before that, there is a voting link that has been shared for the best speakers, and the password is 0403. And guess what? You have earned yourself extra 5 minutes of break. So it's 10 minutes. Yeah, clap.
settle down. President Chaitra, please settle down.
My apologies, we should have given them only 5 minutes. I think the extra 5 minutes because
people are enjoying their break time. This night.
Okay. So without ado, we'll go on to someone. It's time to call someone who has kept his hawk eyes and bad ears throughout this meeting. This Toastmaster is rather a peculiar Toastmaster. Why I say that? Because he stalks the former Toastmasters who have turned stand-up comedians now, just to check whether they are following Toastmasters guideline. Sir, politics and stand-up comedian don't go hand in hand, so they are not following Toastmasters guidelines. So let's welcome our general evaluator of today's meeting, who will conduct the evaluation session, Toastmaster Shetty.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Good evening. What I'd like to ask you all is, do you wish to directly head on to brass tacks, Hawkeye and whatever the Toastmaster of the day mentioned, or would you like to tickle your brains, or me to tickle your brains a little bit? Would you like a small brain tickler? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So this has nothing to do with making you laugh. I think our educational speaker has more than done the honors over there. This is more about comedy. How many of you have been actually following comedy over the years? I think most of us, right? We love comedy, right? So Mike, I'm going to ask you a question, and then again we don't have P A to be this time. Anybody can raise their hands. It depends on who's the quickest to raise the hand. So you, KBC style, you have to give me the order of these 4 forms of comedy in India. Language not a barrier. Okay. So A, B, C, D. So the correct order could be D, C, B, A or A, C, D, B, anything. You have to give me the correct order, but the important thing, and I request our SAA to just tell me who's the first person to raise their hand, right? Okay, so whatever, 2 seconds, 1 second, whatever. So my question is, which of these forms of comedy, and arrange them in the order in the chronology, appeared first, second, third and fourth? A is reels, which stands for R, reels. C is cinema, B is cinema, C is laughter clubs, and D is stand-up. Reels, cinema, laughter club, stand-up. Who's that? Puneet. Okay, Puneet, yeah.
So, cinema came first, and then we...
You can give the order A, C, D, B, whatever.
Okay. Then it B, C, A and D.
B, C, A and D. Anybody wishes to... reels, I mean Instagram reels, okay? I am specific in that sense. So they talk about smart goals, so this is specific.
B, C.
I see Ganesh. Are you holding your hand or holding your hand?
B, C, D, A.
B, C, D, A.
Yes.
That's, yeah, okay. Anybody else would like to try? And I'll give you the chronology as per the literature and the documentation, okay? Anybody wishes to try quickly, we are, that's why I asked you, do you want this or not? CDBA. No, cinema comedy you mean to say is after clubs.
Even before cinema,
Laughter clubs means specifically what Dr. Madan Kataria started. Are you aware of that? Are you aware of that?
Even in ancient times, people were laughing with laughter clubs.
Specific. I'm specific and I'm talking about that. So Reels is Instagram Reels. Anybody else would like to try? Stand up is okay. B, C, A, and B. Okay. Actually, I'll give the virtual chocolate and then I'll give a real one also to Richard sir. He is the closest, and actually I had also thought the same. So Richard sir said B, C, D, and A, which is cinema. We know that even in 1900s and even before that, cinema had got comedy, and then Charlie Chaplin, Laurel and Hardy, and all these people came. And then you had what he said was the stand-ups. He said that the BC. He said laughter clubs came before, and then he said stand-up. But actually, how many of you have heard Johnny Lever's first comedy? I said India, I didn't specify language. Johnny Lever's comedy, which was in 80s. Yeah, Live Dubai. It was in the 80s. So that was, so the second is stand-up, cinema, stand-up, and we had these mimicry guys, remember? Kesto Mukherjee, drinking and all those, and Johnny Lever and so many things. And then you had 1995, Madan Kataria started the Laughter Club, and then now we know. I also follow these reels, and some of them are really good. But that's the chronology, and but laughter is a part of our life, and today we had a meeting which revolved around this topic. And let's see how we've done as far as this meeting is concerned. So before the meeting, was the room and equipment set up on time? Yes, it was set up on time, and kudos and a big round of applause to our Sergeant at Arms for taking care of this. Were the guests welcomed upon arrival? I would say, we can do a little better on that. Especially the committee can take the lead on this to make the guests feel very comfortable. And why I say we can do a little better is because I already saw our founder president escort guests to the canteen and made them comfortable. So we did have some member or the other who was involved in making the guests comfortable, which is great on the part of the club per se, but there is room for improvement. Were the guests, I don't think the mingling really happened, so I believe there is space for improvement over there. Coming to the meeting opening, where we had Toastmaster Bhavana take up the stage, she was an epitome of confidence, and she introduced the president in a very elaborate way, where she spoke about how the president looks at innovation and making things innovative. What she can improve, according to me, upon is one, the fact that, like me, she took a lot of time. She took probably 5 minutes, and it should have been 3 minutes only. So we are at a premium for time today. And the second thing is a little more fluency while introducing the president. When you're introducing someone, the reason for that is the audience feels comfortable about the person who's coming next and gets to know about the person who's coming next. And the person himself or herself also feels comfortable. So a little bit of rehearsal would do you good, Toastmaster. A big round of applause to our Sergeant. We then move on to, as our secretary would say, charismatic Chaitra Chandapillai. President Chaitra Chandapillai, who I was really, floored by the articulate manner in which he spoke, the fact that he asked the guests to rise up, made them comfortable. She was very clear in her address, and then she called out the secretary in order to read the minutes. I would really commend our president and really urge her to keep up the standard of her presidential address. A big round of applause to our president. I must say that she's come a long way from the time that she was associate VP membership to the time that now she is the president of the club. So it's been a phase-wise progression for her. Then we had our secretary come on to the stage, and I don't have the kind of adjectives which secretary have. With exactly that letter, too good. And she really dazzled without the notes. The only place where she said something which she did not follow through with was, she said awards, something, the award winners were, and then she spoke about the other things. She didn't actually talk about the award winners. So that's one thing, a little bit, a small lapse on her side, but otherwise for a brilliant job done. A big round of applause to our secretary, Toastmaster. Then we moved on to the Toastmaster of the Day, was very well introduced by our president, and Toastmaster of the Day has this, Toastmaster Chiranth has got this candid way of, being so grounded that the moment he stands here, he connects with me. I mean, I can talk about me, but I always find that he connects with me, and that's how I've seen him win Best Table Topic Speaker just by standing here and speaking out his heart. So that is the beauty and that is the strong point about Toastmaster Chiranth. A little bit of comedy which he brought in when he spoke about armed with pencil, armed with nothing else but pencil and pen, and then he spoke about Tamish. I was wondering what is Tamish. Then he said Tamish is English with Tamil or something like that. So, he brought in humor all along, and it's not that he was very jocular, but having said that, he did, lighten the mood as far as his address was concerned and the way he conducted the meeting so far. Just a couple of points. One, when you are introducing somebody who's already an accomplished speaker, and you are introducing that person, and when you are referring to notes and talking about it, that takes away that, takes away a little bit of the spark from the kind of introduction you could have given. Had you memorized at least that part, or at least the key parts you need to memorize. Maybe look at your notes once, but then get back to it. So that is one thing that I think you could have done better, the fluency with the introductions, and also the fluency in general, Toastmaster Chiranth. That's what I felt you could have done a little better. Everybody seems to have kind of, settled down to my address. You don't do that, because the person whom I'm going to be talking about now is the person who spoke and enlightened us about the anatomy of a humorous speech. He spoke about the 399 people who were there in the audience, right? How many people were there in the audience that day and were rolling in the aisles? 400. Yeah, so that's 1 plus 399. Oh. Yeah. So, yeah, he remembers that. Yes. So, that was actually a speech which, it really kind of stood apart when he gave that speech. And having said that, he gave a demo speech, like our DTM Vijayanand said, You had the vulnerability to put yourself in front of the audience, give that humorous speech, and then say that this is how I deconstruct the speech and give you my advice. The one part, my personal opinion, as we say in Toastmasters, when you speak in the colloquial language, you also give a little bit of a translation in terms of what you're speaking about for the benefit of those who do not understand the language. This is my take on it, and this is the only place, the only suggestion from my side. Having said that, a big round of applause with gratitude to our speakers. We now move straight on to the speech evaluations. And the first speech by Toastmaster Kenneth would be evaluated by Toastmaster Shreyas would be evaluated by Toastmaster Vishal. I request Toastmaster Vishal to come up and give the evaluation.
Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen, and Shreyas in particular. Good evening. Now, Shreyas, let me start off by telling all the things that I love about your speech. You had a wonderful story. Throughout all the speeches I've witnessed and had the privilege to witness, your stories and the way you put it across have always been great. Second thing is, you summarized your speech very well. Sometimes we miss out on summarizing it and just end the speech, but you had a wonderful end. And your speech was also well paced. This may be very much of an easy thing to say, but in practice it is not. A friend of mine, when he starts speaking, after a minute, the first thing any of us say is, get to the point. And you did get to the point. Now, the final thing that I loved about your speech was the tone for the somber stories that you put across was apt. Your facial expressions, your voice modulation was apt for the story, with a small caveat, which I will get to later. Now, coming to a few suggestions that I have that will take your speech to the next level, in my opinion, is I recommend you start with the story. What I mean by this is you could have delved into it by saying something like, I wrote a blank check to a family member, and it was the biggest mistake I made. This would have caught the audience's attention from the get-go, and then you could have greeted the audience and carried on. Now, the second thing is, I personally felt that 3 stories was a bit lopsided because 2 of the stories were very somber and the other story was jocular. So I'll say keep one story that was somber and the other one jocular. Now the final suggestion that I have is when you transition from a somber story to the jocular story, you did not transition your voice or your facial expression. So I think I was caught off guard and I didn't know whether I should be serious or whether I should smile and laugh. So I'd say that if you could just change it, become a little more upbeat, start talking a little faster, or maybe smile, would give a cue to the audience to change their perspective. All in all, Shreyas, I think your somber stories went for the jugular. Your jokes were rather jocular, making your speech nothing short of spectacular. Over to you, General.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. The one, as the general evaluator, my job is to give the feedback to the evaluator. And the one feedback that I have for you is, I have seldom seen somebody use, make up for the others and use the word feedback. That was great and very structured evaluation. A couple of areas of improvement. Number one, what was the objective of the speech? So your evaluation needs to be based on that. I would say if the speech is one where the evaluator needs to give an evaluation, then you have to yourself be an evaluator. Then you need to talk about the structure. How did he do in terms of the opening body and the conclusion? That is something that we all look at as sacrosanct as far as the speech is concerned. So that was one area you could have done better according to me. But having said that, a big round of applause for both Vishal and Toastmasters. We now move on to the next evaluation for Toastmaster Kenneth's speech. And I'd call upon Toastmaster Shivangi to come up and give her evaluation.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hi, Kenneth. Your speech was titled Start Again. It was a very short, crisp title. And you came on stage with confidence. You had your signature smile on. You took those 3 seconds to make eye contact. That was a power move. Now, because your speech was about starting, resetting, I'm going to use an acronym to give my evaluation. The word begin. B, I will speak about it in the end. Let's start with E, which is emotion. Your speech was not, before I start, the purpose of the speech was introduction to vocal variety. So most of my evaluation, majority will be inclined towards that. E stands for emotion. Your speech was not a jocular speech. It was a motivational speech. And a motivational speech always brings up that inspirational emotion. That definitely happened. I was inspired to reset. In fact, remember why you started? I was reminded of that statement. However, repetitions in a motivational speech really drive the point home. I didn't find you repeating anything anywhere. So that maybe a little bit would have been better. G, in begin, the third letter G, I would say stands for grading volume. And that is one of the key features of vocal variety. Your speech, while you had a very clear speech, your tone was very neutral all throughout. So I would have liked you to grade your volume up, down, or when you're asking a question, drive the point home. I'm asking you a question, so answer, that kind of a volume. And for example, you said something like whispers, your mind whispers, let's take a break. That's a very nice place to whisper actually. Let's take a break, stuff like that. Then fourth letter, inflection. I would say I stands for inflection and intensity. Again, another important thing in vocal variety. Identify where to pause and where to punch. You had good pauses, like you said but and then paused. But I felt certain sentences, every 2 words had a pause. I don't know if that is because of lack of practice or what, but that's something you should keep in mind. Too many pauses take away the message. And the last letter, narrative, N. N stands for narrative. Any speech conveys an idea, right? And your idea was, I want to motivate people to reset again. While the structure was very clear. You had an intro, you had those 5 points, and then you had a conclusion. Maybe a little bit of movement, little bit of hand gestures. Even if your vocal was not to the point, those hand gestures would have, brought that out. Like when you're asking a question, if you're, stretched your hands, even if you're not raised your volume, everybody would have been moved by your hand stretching. Coming to the first letter B, that is balance. So overall, balancing all of these together, your pace, pitch, tone, you're aware all of this is part of your vocal variety. Pitch was very neutral and same throughout. So every sentence that you started, I felt it started in the same way and ended in the same way. I didn't feel any movements there. So this speech was a very nice interplay between all these 6 letters: balance, emotion, grading volume, inflection and intensity, and narrative. If you just keep in mind the little things I told you, it will take your speeches several notches higher. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shivangi, for your very elaborate evaluation. The good part about the evaluation was the fact that it dwelt upon the objective and how the speaker did vis-a-vis the objective. And the fact that we all get somewhere hung up on the fact that you need to use CRC. I mean, it's nowhere written in Toastmasters that CRC has to be the structure within an evaluation. You can do it this way if you wish to. The one suggestion I have for you is when you're giving a strength area of a speaker and then moving on to the area of improvement, I would have not used the word but, which I learned from a lot of Toastmasters. You were good but, so that takes away from what good you did. You were good and you could have done this. So that is the only part where CRC becomes something which all of us can digest. Because the sandwich we can, the sandwich method we are all used to. But this method, if you can just take care of that aspect, brilliant evaluation, and a big round of applause to both the speaker, Toastmaster Kenneth and the evaluator, Toastmaster. Yeah, that brings us to the tag team report, and I would first ask our timer, Toastmaster Vineet, to tell us how we did on time. And I'm going to hide
Coming to the report, Toastmaster Kenneth took 5 minutes, 60 seconds, 58 seconds. Toastmaster Shreyas took 6 minutes, 13 seconds. Evaluators, Toastmaster Shivangi took 3 minutes, 29 seconds. And Toastmaster Vishal took 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you for the crisp timer report in the interest of time, Toastmaster Vineet. And for those who are interested in the details, kindly go through the report in the minutes. I now request Toastmaster Imtiaz to lead the counter report.
Good evening once again. So can you all believe today we have come, all the speakers were not speakers, master chef. They cooked the biryani really very well and they served us really good. And apart from speaking this, I would like to go to DTM Dr. Aurobindo sir. So whenever I was traveling with him in his taxi, finding the route, the one thing I was looking at when we were in Tamil Nadu, he was asking the route, but I was looking for the biryani bowl, Ambur biryani, or Dindigul biryani, or Talapagatti biryani. When we were in Karnataka, I can see the Donne biryani. When we are in Andhra, combined Telugu states, I was seeing Hyderabad biryani. And when we were in Kerala, it was Malabar biryani. But when we were in Maharashtra, I couldn't find. I was asking Ratan Shetty, what is the famous biryani in Maharashtra? Konkan biryani. Okay. I think everyone did a fantastic job by controlling the filler words. The filler words today were In biryani terms, it was clove and cinnamon. Cinnamon, I guess. Cardamom, sorry, cardamom. Thank you all for him.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imtiaz. Now can you please come up and give the counter report? Anyway, thank you for your report. And please look up the counter report 20 minutes. Now we move to Toastmaster Palak for the grammarian report.
Good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. What a jocular environment it was. Yes. So, thank you all for keeping the snaps and the thumbs ups all throughout the meeting, and especially in Toastmaster Vishal's speech. Coming back to our grammarian report, we had an amazing number of good words and good
savory, armed, thunderous, extorted, procrastination, more often than not, burnout, anxiety, charismatic, sedative, and acid. Better usages could have been I was in a panic, could have been I was panicking. Came in 2 lessons could be came with 2 lessons. Fully blown fight could have been a full blown fight. After investigation could have been after investigated. Coming back to the sentenceational lines, actions can be rash, but reactions can be rational. $1,000,000 questions. The acronym BEGIN, which stands for balance, emotion, grading volume, intensity, and narrative. The word of the day was used 10 times today by Toastmaster Chiranth, DDM Dr. Aurobindo, Toastmaster Ratan, Toastmaster Vishal, Toastmaster Shivangi, and myself, Toastmaster Palak. That's it for my report, and back to you.
A big round of applause to all the speakers and all the role takers. Now let's take a minute to vote for the best evaluator, best auxiliary role player, and the best role player. The password is 0403. And with that, we come to the end of today's evaluation session. I would like to thank the committee for giving me this onerous role of being the general evaluator today, and handing over back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chiranth.
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful session. Just a one round of applause again. I hope everyone has laughed out loud. Without your laughter, there is no meaning for that. And it's time to head back to our president, Toastmaster Chaitra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chiranth. A big round of applause to all the role takers. Before we move on, can I request Toastmaster Robinson to join on stage? DTM Aurobindo, thank you for your amazing education session. You truly took us on a long journey, and then you broke down your journey into different parts and truly left us with a memorable message. On behalf of PTMC, I would request you to please accept this token of appreciation from us. We have one announcement for today. The Moments of Truth link has been posted in the WhatsApp group. If you have not already filled in the form, please do fill tie. We'll start with someone who always pays his tolls in coins. Toastmaster Shreyas K. And we also have someone who rarely gives speeches, but when he comes on stage, we say, you should have given the speech so long ago. Toastmaster Kenneth. For the Best Auxiliary Role Taker Award, we have someone who made us lol on stage. Toastmaster Palak Mehta. For the Best Role Taker Award, we have someone who watched the entire session with hawk eyes and listened with bat ears. Toastmaster Shetty. And for the Best Evaluator Award, we have someone who will definitely make you work for a few extra years before retiring. Toastmaster Shivangi. I would like to thank everyone who joined us today, and in particular the guests who are here today. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed the session. May I request the guests to raise their hands? Thank you. May I request Toastmaster Vineet to please stand up? Guests, please join Toastmaster Vineet immediately after this meeting. He will guide you through what Toastmasters is about, and he'll answer all your questions. With this, we come to the end of this segment of the meeting. Before we transition to the business segment, I would like to ask the members to remain in the hall, please. And the guests can please follow Toastmaster Vineet while he guides you.
Chaitra.
During this during this short amount of time, may I request the award winners to join me on stage for a quick photograph.
No, but I saw the video and new video, that's what you want upload on YouTube, just for
Can you move a little bit more inside?
tabletop speaker.
Nobody.
Oh, they got tabletop. I'm so used.
One second, sorry. Done.